Hi YouTube. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing okay. I got out in my garden and took radishes, separated them, because when you seed them, sometimes some of them grow together. Um, so I separated a bunch of them and um, put them in different spots so I'd have more radishes. So um, I was happy I got that done. It was pretty warm. It's supposed to rain tonight, so I watered a little bit, weeded a little bit, and hopefully, and my squash and my tomatoes seem like they might have something, but I had to put some wire up. I have a baby bunny right underneath my wood pile, right by my vegetables, so yeah. But anyway, I let it eat some lettuce, and it was eating the flowers off my squash. So I finally said, well, that's enough. But because there's plenty of stuff in the yard. Plus, I put out grains. I get this scratch grain. It's got corn and millet and let's see what else. Corn and millet and one other seed in there, but the birds like it and the bunnies eat it. So and my horse eats it, so I put it around and then they all get like whatever my horse doesn't eat. Sometimes I put it in her dish, but if I put it out on the grass, whatever is left there would be like the other day, there was a little baby bunny and a baby squirrel just about 5 feet apart eating together in the backyard, so it was really cute. So, what I was thinking about today is talking about when we'll just call them narcissists, the people with the dark, selfish souls. When your not narcissist goes out for the day, this is something that they feel like they have to do, and I'll tell you why, and I'll tell you how to handle it too. Um, they have to go out, and it seems like they have more friends than you do. But in this world, it's easy to ignore um, responsibilities and different things in life. And birds of a feather do flock together, and the world is there. People are more of the world nowadays than they are family minded. So, with that said, I guess the subject of my um, video tonight is dealing with when they come home. One thing you can always remember and mark my words, they're going to come home in a bad mood. They'll hide it at first, but see, they've been out there able to tell their lies or be the life of the party or wherever they are out in public and be jolly, and nobody cares to see deep within them. So, with you not being there, it's easier for them to have a nice time. So, you know, and then when they come home, of course, they're going to be crabby and try and put it on you. No matter how happy you are, they'll say, why are you angry? Or why are you mad? And um, just remember it's not you, and just remember that you're a good person, and this is something that they were doing during the day or night when they're gone. They actually have guilt within themselves, or they feel that they should have, is more like it. So they try to put that on you. So um, when you're faced with that, the best thing you can do is give them about a 30-second time limit to talk, and then keep yourself busy, keep your mind off the negative stuff. And if they keep talking, just tell them you don't care to hear or talk, and whatever you want to think or say is fine with me, and carry on with your delightful self, because not to anger them or anything, but to keep you healthy. That's the main thing. Is just remember, having God in your heart's a big deal. Keeping it there, and don't let anybody take your happy away from you, ever, ever. I mean, you have a right to be angry at times, and to express anger maybe in a way where you could try and talk to somebody, but a narcissistic personality isn't really open to conversation. So protecting yourself um, is number one. So what I do is come in and turn a video on and ask it to be quiet so I can watch, and I don't want to talk. And really, if you keep the talking down to a minimal, or you're listening, don't listen. Don't absorb what it's saying. If it says something cruel or nasty, just overlook it. Just say to yourself, um, well, really, it is a retarded action. It's a regression. It's ignoring human feelings, and that isn't progressive, it's regressive, it's retardation. It is mental retardation. Yeah, now it's probably uh, something they choose. It's self-inflicted. Although you could have somebody with lack of compassion with frontal lobe damage, that does happen. People that have been hit in the head, or, it's hard to feel sympathy. Well, rather, you can feel sympathy for everybody. That's what that means. But empathy, to actually feel for somebody else and other people, that takes your frontal lobes. Um, uh, if those aren't working properly, if you've had a head injury, um, what what your mind is doing is literally trying to protect your body. It's uh, how to say this? It's telling your body is telling your brain that it hurts, and it is repairable. Brain damage is repairable, especially if it was like a physical accident. If it's something you were born with, now that could be a different story. And a lot of what I think I deal with is because this person was born dead. I call it a walk-in, if you know what that is. But my beliefs, I can't really prove anything, or it can't be disproved either. So, that's but I know there's a lot of people out there dealing with these people that don't care about others. I mean, in your jobs, your parents, your spouses, people that call themselves your friends or say they love you, but they're not displaying love. Or I care about you. Yeah, right, sure you do. That type. So I thought it was important to get on here and share my feelings that the best way is to limit your conversation with these people if possible, because there's no good outcome to it, really, and you don't win. I mean, you don't ever feel like you're oh, the word, just a minute, I'm going to take a sip of coffee, I'll get my word. You don't feel um oh, I'll get it. I think it starts with an S. Mm, maybe I just lost it. That's okay. um, I'm sure I've got other stuff to say, plenty to say. Um, huh, give me 10 seconds. You don't ever feel like you've accomplished anything talking to these people, I guess, is the, um, like, it just gets you nowhere. I'll probably remember it another time, but yeah, it's like getting no satisfaction out of the conversation. Um, Oh, I bet somebody out there knows just what I'm thinking, you know. But yeah, you run across these people all over in life, in the stores, the post office. A lot of doctors are narcissists. They could care less, honestly. I worked with them, I know. Um, in fact, some of the coldest hearted people are doctors. Um, I'm going to light a cigarette, excuse me. Uh, yeah, there's just no. It's like having no closure on a debate or oh, darn it. Wish I could think of it, but oh well. I think you get my drift. But yeah, but they will. They'll come home in a horrible mood, or a pretense of a horrible mood is more like it, and then say it was you. And you may not have said a word, you know, but they have to justify themselves. They have to try and put it on you to make their misdeeds feel better for themselves. Really, they have their little guilt trips and then try and put it on you. They plan it probably before they even go out or even come home. Maybe it's on the way home, I'm not sure. But yeah. So, oh, and then I finally made my Waldorf salad. It was going to be for supper, but Doug came home and ate a leftover hamburger, and he's sleeping with his head plopped over his desk. So yeah, it's all is good. Whatever. It's still daylight. I'm kind of used to it every few days, at least once a week or more. So yeah, I kind of get used to it. So I'm thinking peanut butter toast and milk, or maybe some of my salad. I'm not sure yet, but it's really easy to make. There's recipes online. Traditionally, they put in like grapes. They'll put grapes and roasted walnuts on top. But I had raisins and I rehydrated them to make them more grape-like, and I've done that before. But you just take a half a cup of mayo and a little bit of milk or cream, and about a tablespoon, a little over a tablespoon of lemon juice, and a little salt and pepper. That's your sauce. Then you roast a half a cup of walnuts and about a half a cup of grapes. Dice up 2 stalks of celery really fine, and 2 great big red delicious apples. You chop them up in like chunk-sized pieces. Mine were about a little about the size of a dime or a little bit bigger and kind of thinner. And because you want the sauce to get in everything, so and then you can put it on a bed of lettuce, but you mix in your apples and the celery in your dressing, and then I put the walnuts and the raisins inside, but you can put grapes and walnuts on the top and make it look pretty, and then you can take a scoop and put it on a bed of lettuce and eat it like that. So that's Waldorf. Waldorf Astoria in New York. It's right up by the Canadian border, pretty close. Um, anyway, I love their salad. It is good for a change to have some fruit. And then I had some apples that I had to use up in my celery. So, yeah. And the nuts, too. So, like all 3 things. So, yeah, nuts, I can't remember that. what I was going to say. Um, oh, well. But yeah, it goes really well with chicken or fish, or even just by itself, or other salads with it, like Sometimes I like making just a plate. If I have like a salad I made, I'll take just other little bits of things or like a hard-boiled egg and put it with all my salad stuff and maybe a little cheese on there and a couple of different kinds of salads and just make a plate of stuff, so, with kind of like leftover salad stuff or little bits of meat if like a chef salad is ham and turkey or some kind of poultry and some kind of like bacon, but ham and turkey is the best, and cheddar cheese and tomato and onion and whatever, like pieces of carrot and different things you can put in it. So whatever the chef wants to put is really, I guess, what a chef salad actually is, technically. But, or I was thinking I have a frozen burrito I might have with a bunch of salad next to that. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. But I was going to make a couple of really nice steaks along with a bunch of salads that I had. But I don't know. Maybe I'll cook one for myself. Never know. Maybe later I'll just say, hey, time to cook. Or I might even fast. I don't know. I do that a lot too if it's like this. If he comes home and eats, it's like, well, messed up supper, but that's okay. Then I just won't eat. And then it's like mean people can carry the weight instead of you. You get it? Carry the weight. So, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, staying happy is a really big deal to combat um, hard times in any situation, you know, keeping happy and keeping not just upbeat. I mean, if you have sorrows, you're having a bad day, or you don't feel well or something like that. I mean, these are the realities of life. We can't walk around smiling, 24/7 every day because days just aren't always like that. But can smile once a day, even if you don't feel good. So, and it does increase your happy endorphins. So, yeah, I still, I'm thinking like sanctified, but that's not the word. um, or sanctimonious is more like what I live with. Oh, shoot. I don't know. Um, yeah, I just thought I'd get on here and talk about it. Like I say, I know there's others that are going through it. And yeah, I was talking to a lady on Facebook. She was going through things with her mom. And I know a lot of mothers and fathers like to hold their children back, which is pretty sick. You know, they do it for their own personal gains to keep you around under their thumb. You know, so that's really bad. But also, Lionel was talking about asked the question, why do Americans why do they like to spank so much? And I said anger, and I said, and then pretty much it's like the stranger they can be. It's like they're trying to win a contest on how flipping weird they can be. I said, I think it's like worldwide. It's just not exclusive to America, but it's like, look at me, I'm the biggest weirdo. Then he asked if narcissists were on social media, what would they be? And I said they'd be singing, I'm too sexy for my shirt. So sexy it hurts. And then I put in quotations after a smiley, everybody else. So yeah, they hurt everybody else from acting like that. So, yeah, they're already there. We know them, you know. So it's not bad if somebody's cute and they're kind and they're good, you know. There's nothing wrong with that. But just banking on the fact that your looks are going to get you somewhere, that is not going to work. So go tell God, hey, maybe I'm better looking than God, right? Or how about age and God? That always gets me too, you know, when people are like, how much of a baby do we look to God? How old in comparison? And how silly is age compared to that? You know, he looks at me like a little baby, you know? So, but anyway, maybe not on this planet, but you know. I think he thinks I'm doing okay. I think he thinks that I'm not very old, though, you know, compared to him. So, yeah, still trying to think of that word. Word. Uh, anyway, maybe in another video I'll think of it. So, yeah, my oldest son sent me a post about QAnon. He just discovered that, and I told him a couple other people in places that, you know, I used to follow Q. And what I found kind of fascinating was that obviously he or she or them know the scriptures because when they're quoting out of the Bible and following the script, you know, so and I noticed the correlations in the scriptures and I tried to bring that to people's attention like, hey, Q's not only quoting out of the Bible over and over again, but what Q is saying is like almost a foreseeance, like um, part of the scripture and then it happens type of thing. So, but I stopped following. It got a little boring. I I'm into politics like about that far out of like that, you know, somewhat. And I had even considered being a politician someday, um, or a cop way back when because I wanted to help people, but nah, nah, just wasn't for me, I guess. So, huh. But yeah, it is hard. It's hard to talk to somebody that has a preset set of values that are self-centered. Um, it is no good. They're up to no good, and it isn't good for you to buy into that. Just keep on your steady and realize that these type of people, wherever you encounter them, are out for themselves, and they'll say or do anything to paint you as the bad person. But just do not buy into it. You know, don't. They might call you names. They might actually, the worst things that they can say to you, the better they feel about themselves somehow. So just remember that normal people don't go around hurting people like that. They never would. They couldn't. It's not in them. Well, I mean, I can say something mean. If somebody's like being mean with me, yeah, I'll be mean back, but then I will cut it off and come to my senses. You know, I don't carry that around every day. I don't know how people can survive like that, you know, so. But it's sad. I mean, I feel bad for them, and I hope someday that they're going to be okay, but, you know, feeling miserable every day or having to pretend on a daily basis. I don't know, it's like like that song I was singing about narcissists, you know. They're just too sexy for their shirts, you know. I don't think they even deserve any shirts, but that's another thing. So um, that's probably pretty much all that's on my mind. Um, if I think of that word, I might put it in the description box. But yeah, I'll be darned if I can. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to leave it at that tonight. Thank you for joining me, and I love you all very much. We're going to get through this, and everything is going to be okay. And I think it's going to be not too far off. I feel like things are getting better, but you know, even on bad days, like today was sort of a bad day, but somehow it seems okay. Like I think I'm dealing with it a little better, is what's going on. So, um, I used to get really angry at a lot of stuff because I couldn't believe how crazy this world was. I mean, I just still can't. But I know God helps me every day. I'm lucky, fortunate. We all are, you know, like that. And we have each other. That's a big deal, too. So, and I know I have friends I can count on, and friends can count on me. And that's that. And we can help each other and learn from each other. And that's a really big deal. Huge. So, okay, everybody, have a really good night or day wherever you're at. Thank you for joining me, and maybe you can think of my word for me. I love you. Peace from Pine City, Minnesota, USA.